Everyone, this is Andrus Academy, and I'm just here discussing something that I get asked all the time, so I just wanted to take a minute to clear this up. I get regularly questioned about our homeschooling, and when people realize that it's me teaching my own children, they often say, well, that makes perfect sense because you have a teaching degree. And this is true. Actually, I did go to university and go into secondary education, which here in Canada is, or in Alberta, is specifically junior and high school teaching. And I majored in, well, I had a double major in English and music. And then I minored in second study voice and biology. So yes, I do have a teaching degree. I finished early without having completed my practicum because I got a letter of authority and went straight into the teaching system. I've taught kindergarten, middle school, grades 5 to 8, and most of my teaching time was grades 9 through 12, so high school. I wanted to just briefly touch on what I learned in my degree in school. I learned about Harry Potter. I learned about different instruments that I had to be able to play to teach music. I learned how to study hard, how to write an essay the night before it was due, how to crash study for a midterm and then have that knowledge wiped right out of my head forever. After I learned which teachers you had to suck up to, and the ones that didn't care if you commented in class, and the other ones that a good deal of your grade would reflect that. I had people voicing, when you were struggling in a class, you could ask. I know I have a friend who a big bottle of rum got him through percussion. I myself got through woodwinds, which I major in. I'm a flautist myself, because I was told to sit up front and talk to the instructor like he was God. And I can tell you right now, my grades suddenly soared just by speaking to him in a manner that stroked his ego. So yes, I did classes on classroom management, which pretty much were just open for debate between different students as to how to manage a class. We did not learn what it would take mentally or how to present yourself so that you could manage that class. We discussed the teaching trends of the time, which for me, when I was in school, was the resurgence of the age-appropriate categorization of students. So even a student who at 17 is mentally 3, you would still put that child in with other 17-year-olds. Personally, I'm very against that. I don't believe in setting kids up to fail. I believe that you put them where they can succeed and achieve and feel good about themselves. So being as I was against the flow of the common trend, that caused a lot of issue for me and a lot of arguing with my classmates, but a lot of good conversation with professors. In regards to the professors, 99% of them have never been in a classroom other than the university level. They've never had to deal with teenagers who cut and are dealing with teenage angst. They've never had to, round up a bunch of 7-year-olds on, the day after Halloween when they're all hyped up on sugar. They've never had that real world experience. So it's very difficult for me to gain that life learning from someone who hasn't yet earned it themselves. We did technology for teaching, which at the time was learning how to use projectors and email and a computer. And I mean, we all already knew that. And if you didn't, things like a projector, well, power on, press play. It's not too difficult. And then the technology is progressing so fast that knowledge very quickly became extinct. I guess the class, just like a year or two before us, was still learning how to work the old AV machines where you put the reels on to project the movie and it would turn. And I mean, that stuff doesn't exist. Almost every classroom now has a smart board in it, which again, I don't agree with, but I won't go into that. So as far as technology, did I learn a lot in that class? No, not really. No, I didn't. I didn't learn how to manage a class. I didn't learn how to set up a schedule. I didn't learn how to motivate students. I didn't learn what intrinsic motivation versus, other learners. We didn't learn types. We learned about types of learning, but we were just told incorporate it all. Well, that's really not possible when you have a 40-minute class and you have very strict deadlines about what has to be gotten through. You'll find that in public schools, you always teach to the middle, to the medium. So gifted students are bored out of their skulls and gain nothing, and the ones that need more time to grasp a concept are left hopelessly in the dust. It's not an ideal situation, and surely people know that the North American method of teaching is very flawed, and big reform needs to come about to help start inspiring actual learning and actually educating the mind to think. I didn't learn any of that in this. We talked about things like dealing with a gifted student and a slower learning student by pairing them up. Well, I can tell you that when I was in school, I was a gifted student, and that's what they did. And I missed so many recesses and so many special events in the school because I was paired up with someone who didn't want to do the work, didn't want to finish the worksheet. And until he or she finished, I was not permitted to go and do, the fun activities. So for me, I felt that I was punished for being smart, and that my intelligence was actually a big black mark against me. So I don't recommend that strategy at all. It's just extremely frustrating, and really it passes the buck to a child who suddenly becomes responsible for another child's academic success, and that's not fair. There are ways that you can do it where they can encourage each other. It's certainly more simple in a homeschool setting, but even in public school, there's better ways to do it. We did not learn how to break a subject down, how to come at it from a different angle, how to make a math lesson kinetic, how to make spelling, better for an auditory learner. We did not learn any of those things. So for you homeschooling moms who are worried about that and thinking that you need that degree, my husband, who was a master teacher and helped design some of the curriculum for Alberta, he's told me when you go into university, you're either a teacher going in or you'll never be one, because they certainly don't produce them there, and you won't be a teacher coming out unless you already had that ability to learn and to roll with the punches and to work with the kids and truly care about the children learning from you. So you do not need a degree. What you do need is to find yourself a village, find other homeschoolers, talk to them, look at their methods. When something's not working, be okay with scrapping it and starting from scratch. If the curriculum doesn't work, look for a different one. If the curriculum's great but your method isn't working, ask around, ask other people how you could present it differently, because every one of you moms is already a teacher. If you taught your child to wash their hands, then you're a teacher. If they learn to zip their coat or to use the bathroom, you're a teacher. If they're eating with a fork or a spoon by themselves, you're a teacher, and you're already succeeding at teaching those children. There's nobody better than you to know when they need you to sing a song, or when they need to make it fun, or when you need to say, that's enough, let's get this done. Because nobody knows that child like you. Nobody, no degree, no amount of education in higher institutions will make them a better teacher than you for your child. So believe in yourself, ask questions, look around, watch these videos, watch Lakeshore Academy. That woman is brilliant. See what she can teach you. Look around, type it in on YouTube, Google. There's lots of answers if you're just willing to ask the question. Are you already a teacher? Yes, you are. Do you need a degree? Girl, you've already got one. Congratulations and enjoy your day. Take care from Andrews Check Academy. Bye.